Senator from Grayson County, Senator Carrico.
Mr. President, I would like to speak on the motion to recommit. Not standing in opposition to it, I understand, having worked with the senator from Franklin on this issue, there are some things that we need to look at, and I'd just like to make some comments. I don't take a lot of time on this floor, but this is an important issue to me. Those of you that have been here, I came here from the House. I've spent 12 years working on this issue. I believe this is one of the most important issues that I ever have addressed as a legislator. And as you all know, we're all sent here to honor the views and the positions of our constituents, and I think that this is an important issue to my constituents, knowing some of the situations that they had faced in situations back in Southwest Virginia. And we all do our best to work in this General Assembly to represent those views and make laws to protect the freedoms and maintain order in a society that we live. And I believe from that side of the aisle to this side of the aisle, just like the senior senator from Fairfax has said, we all do what we can. We may not agree on policy issues. We may not agree on things that we do, but we all stand together and do what we think is best, and I agree with him on that. I will say as to why that I feel this this motion to re-refer and how important it is that we take a close look as we refer this to next year is important. You know, over the past year, we've seen horrible things that have happened to the most innocent people across this country, and we've come to this body to make laws to protect those people, and it's been the most innocent that have been affected by it. And, you know, it doesn't matter how many laws that we make in this country, we can never, ever, take away the intent of the heart, the evil that some people have. And many of you may ask, well, what does that have to do with the free exercise of religion? Well, it deals with the heart. That's what the religious part of what our founders put together was all about. It deals with the heart of men and what they believe in. And every man is subject to evil thoughts, but as long as he don't breed it in his heart and carry it out, then that evil doesn't occur. You know, as a young man growing up and knowing that the convictions of what my parents taught me, and knowing that there's a higher power, and that not only did I have to fear the laws of the land, but growing up knowing that I had to fear that higher power was part of the things, the morality that we live by in this country each and every day. And I'm also reminded that we're living in perilous times. We're living in times where those things happen, and we do all we can in this body to try to prevent it, but there's some things that we just can't prevent, and that's why religious freedoms were so important to our founding fathers. When they landed at Jamestown, they planted 3 crosses to remind them how blessed they were when they came to this land, and what they had to live by and what they had came from. And they were always reminded as they look back at those 3 crosses of where they came from and what it was all about. And I'm reminded of George Washington, our first president. And, you know, it's recorded by one of the soldiers how he knelt that Valley Forge and he prayed. And, you know, today in the society that we live in, there would probably be someone who approaches the ACLU and says, I was offended that the commander of an army would kneel and pray, and they would probably remove George Washington from the commanding outfit of that army if that was to occur in this time that we're in today. And I'm reminded of George Washington when he was inaugurated, standing in New York City, and he was standing across from where the New York Stock Exchange is today. And the first thing he did when he was inaugurated was lead the Congress down to St. Paul's Church to pray. Those are the things that our founding fathers put into place, and the things that they believed in. And they believed in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They believed in the scripture in Deuteronomy that says, choose you this day between a blessing and a curse. And they were choosing the blessing that this life was offering because they knew the moral aspect of a nation was depending upon the free exercise of that religious belief. They believed that with that moral aspect, our country could be great, we could live within those laws that we created, and the people wouldn't be subjected to so much evil that we see today. We've deviated so far from what our forefathers believed in that I think that without trying to move legislation like this forward, that we're doing a disjustice to our citizens, because we have to have guidance, and it's up to us to give the courts guidance on what we know and what we believe that our founders were trying to do in that time. And while I don't oppose this being re-referred, and I hope that you'll support it, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed that we'll be back tomorrow. But hopefully we'll all be back next year, Lord willing, and we are all able to be in our seats next year, that we can address this issue. And for 12 years I've worked on this issue, and I want to thank Senator Stanley for his part and his participation in it. But I would ask you today if you would re-refer this bill so that we can get the language into the proper form in which it needs to be, so that we can take the fear away from the prayers of the people as they choose according to the dictates of their conscience, and let them do what our founders believed so wholeheartedly in, and let them be a light into these people who need it so much in a nation where we're facing so many problems. So thank you.